It was raining heavily that morning when Adam Blake, the 42-year-old CEO of one of New York's most successful investment firms, drove his black sedan through the quiet downtown streets. His life was polished and powerful from the outside, a life filled with glass towers, silent offices, and empty nights. Yet beneath his expensive suit and perfect smile was a man who had stopped feeling years ago. His wife had died in a car accident 6 years earlier, leaving him with a loneliness so sharp that even his success couldn't dull it. That morning, while heading to a meeting that could have added millions more to his fortune, he saw something lying by the side of the road, something small, broken, and trembling. It was a dog, a golden retriever, soaked in mud and blood, barely breathing. Most people would have driven past, but something in those eyes, a flicker of pain mixed with hope, made him stop. He pulled over, stepped out into the rain, and without thinking twice, took off his coat to wrap around the trembling animal. If you believe in kindness, compassion, and second chances, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel for more stories that remind us what being human truly means. Adam rushed the injured dog to the nearest animal clinic. The vet said the dog had likely been hit by a car and left there for hours. It was weak, cold, and could die before morning. Adam stayed there through the night, something he hadn't done for anyone since his wife's death. He watched the dog breathe slowly, his golden fur dull and tangled, his paw bandaged, his heart barely holding on. When the vet finally said he'd survive, Adam felt something inside him shift, a small, unfamiliar warmth. He named him Leo. Over the next few weeks, Leo recovered at Adam's penthouse apartment. The first days were awkward. The CEO who used to give orders now found himself cleaning puddles, feeding soup, and sleeping lightly just to make sure. His new companion was breathing. Yet every time Leo wagged his tail or looked at him with those gentle brown eyes, the hollow space inside Adam's chest began to fill again. The apartment that once echoed with silence now had small sounds, the soft tapping of paws on the floor, the light snoring of a sleeping dog by his couch, the sound of life returning. As months passed, Leo became more than a pet. He became Adam's shadow, his anchor. When Adam worked late at night, Leo would rest his head on his foot. When Adam came home from tense meetings, Leo greeted him with pure joy, asking for nothing in return. One morning, Adam took Leo for a walk in Central Park. A little girl ran toward them, laughing, and Leo gently licked her hand. Her mother thanked Adam, saying her daughter hadn't smiled in months after losing her own dog. That small encounter made Adam realize something he hadn't seen before. Leo wasn't just healing him, he was touching others too. Slowly, Adam began volunteering at animal shelters, sponsoring rescue programs, and using his company's resources to support animal welfare campaigns. People in his company whispered that their cold-hearted CEO had changed, that he smiled more, that he cared. They were right. Leo had turned a businessman into a human again. Then one winter evening, something happened that would test the bond they had built. Adam had just left his office when his car skidded on the icy road and crashed into a light post. It wasn't fatal, but he was trapped inside, bleeding, his phone out of reach. Minutes turned into what felt like hours. It was Leo, sitting at home, who sensed something was wrong. The dog began scratching the door, barking wildly, as if he knew his best friend was in danger. The housekeeper tried to calm him, but Leo broke free and ran into the freezing night. He ran through traffic, across streets he had never been through, guided by instinct and love. He found the crashed car, whining and pawing at the door, attracting the attention of a passerby who called for help. When firefighters arrived, they found the CEO unconscious and a golden retriever refusing to move from his side. The medics later said that if help had come even 10 minutes later, Adam might not have survived. The story spread through the news, CEO saved by his rescue dog. But what touched people most wasn't the story of a rich man saved by a dog. It was the image of Leo lying beside Adam's hospital bed, his head resting on Adam's hand as if guarding his life once again. When Adam woke up 2 days later, weak but alive, Leo was there. The moment their eyes met, tears fell down Adam's face. The man who once thought he had everything realized that what he truly needed was love, loyalty, and companionship. After recovering, Adam made a decision that changed countless lives. He launched a foundation called Leo's Promise, dedicated to rescuing and rehabilitating injured animals across the country. The initiative started small, but soon grew into one of the most respected animal charities in America. Shelters were built, medical care was funded, and hundreds of dogs were saved, all because of one rainy morning when a man stopped his car. Every time Adam visited one of those shelters, he felt proud, not as a CEO, but as someone reborn through kindness. He would often sit beside Leo, whispering softly that it was the dog, not him, who had changed everything. Years later, when Leo grew old and his steps slowed, Adam stayed by his side just as he once had. He carried him up the stairs, fed him gently, and made sure he never felt alone. On the night Leo passed away, Adam sat beside him, holding his paw and whispering, "Thank you." The city lights outside his window blurred through his tears. Leo's golden fur shimmered softly under the lamp, his breathing fading like a peaceful sigh. The next morning, Adam buried him under a tree in Central Park, where they had shared their happiest days. He placed a plaque there that read, "Here lies Leo, the dog who saved a man's soul." People often stopped there to read, some with tears in their eyes, some with their dogs by their side. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. These stories are reminders that love doesn't always come in the form of people. Sometimes it has fur, a wagging tail, and eyes that see your soul when no one else can. Before you go, I'd love to know your thoughts. Comment below and tell us, what's the most beautiful act of kindness you've ever witnessed? That's how Adam's story became a living reminder that no success, wealth, or fame could ever replace the warmth of a loyal heart. A powerful man was healed not by medicine or therapy, but by a creature who asked for nothing but love. And sometimes, all it takes to change a life is to stop for someone, or something, that everyone else ignored.